Hey guys, Ray from Haloview RV and Boat coming to you from the breezy Arizona desert today. I'm going to give you a look at a new Haloview rear view camera that's just hitting the market. Now this is the one I've been using. It's called the Byte Tango 12 BT12 model, and I like it because it fits nicely on my mirror here. It has the rear view coming out the back of the RV, and it also has rear view coming out the back of the truck. I use its dash cam to look at the back of the truck, so it makes a nice package for me. Their Byte Tango 7 I've been using on our boat. It's a 4-camera system, so I use it to monitor my engine room. So I'll link back to the review of this model and the other models I've reviewed. But today I'm going to give you a look at their newest one, and this is the BT7 Touch. So it's a lot like the Byte Tango 7 in that you can use up to 4 cameras with it, but they've made the display much nicer, smaller, and it's now a touchscreen display. So this particular model just comes with the 1 camera, but like I say, you can add extra cameras. You can get turn signal cameras and a different type of rear view camera. So let's pull it out of the box and we'll see what's included in this package, and then I will go through the settings, and then I'm going to hook it up and do some testing with our RV on my next trip to my next campground, and then I'll give you some footage of what it records. Okay, first off we got a pair of manuals. Here's the new manual for the BT Touch. And then there's a manual for the various cameras that are compatible with it. This package came with the BT128. You can see there's also some side marker ones, and then there's one rear one that has a built-in rear marker light. There we go. There it is. So it looks a lot like a cell phone screen. You can see it's nicely rounded on the edge. I think they call that 2.5D or something when it's rounded like that, so it helps with the touch screen. On this side we got a couple ways to power it. There's a DC input and a Type C USB, and then the power button. On this side we have a pairing button, and there's a sensor for auto dimming the brightness, and then there's a micro SD card input to put your card in, up to 256 gigabyte card for recording. Put the antenna inputs on the back, a couple speakers, and then something for mounting. So it feels fairly hefty. But I was looking at it, it only takes 6 watts to power it, so not much power at all. And I think they've improved the heating. The older ones would get quite hot. I read that this is a little bit less hot running than the other ones. So it looks good. And that's a full 7-inch display there, BT7. And we got various ways to mount it here. There's a suction cup mount for your windshield, and one that you can stick on more permanently with 3M there. Guess you could stick it to the dash or wherever you're going to mount it. And then we got some screws and crimp connectors for mounting the camera. Here's the camera there. Now I've mounted several of these, so I can link back to those if you want to see how to mount the camera on the back of the rig and get power to it. A few different mounting options here. Got a gasket, and then this little thing can fit in there, and I think you can get an optional magnet there and magnetic mounted as well. Anything else? Yeah, got another level here of wiring. Let's see what we got. There's for the camera. So there's the wires, red and black. We'll find a 12-volt power source. A lot of people will use their marker lights on the back, so when they turn on their lights, the camera comes on. I've actually made my own power system in there where I have a switch and everything so I can switch it on and off. But anyway, there's several ways to do that. And then this green wire is a trigger wire. Some people will use a trigger like on turn signals, or when you go into reverse mode, then the display will automatically show that screen on the display. So handy for turning or rear backing up functions. We got 3 antennas, 2 for the display and 1 for the camera here. And this is a special wire for people that have an RV with a pre-wired Furrion system. It can plug straight into that. Makes wiring it up to that pre-wired factory system easier. This is a pairing cable so that you can make sure your camera and display are going to work without, climbing up and mounting it and then trying to pair it while it's up there. Just makes it a lot easier for you to get things set up. That looks like the USB-C, so you got C that plugs into the display, and then it goes into a regular USB-A slot that most vehicles have nowadays. So that's a nice thing. I haven't seen that before in any of their systems. Then they have the regular old, good old 12-volt power socket. That's the old guys call them cigarette lighter sockets. And it's got a power button. And finally, there's a little pack here. There's a little clear plastic thing that you can go, and you can put it on your windshield, and then you can stick that 3M tape to it. So it just makes it easier to remove the mount from the window. Anyway, next let's go into the screen and I'll show you all the settings. Okay, so give you a look at all the different functions on the screen here. So the screen may be a little flickery, but that's more my video camera than the actual screen. In real life, it's very stable. So you just touch it, it brings up this menu, and you can switch between cameras. Right now I only have 2 set up. So let's go to the other view there, and then back to this view. There's a button here you can get into the main menuing. Volume. You can have you can listen to what's going on with the camera. I find that's good on low speed, but high speed you get too much wind noise, and then you can set the level of the volume. And then we have pairing. So when you want to add a camera, it's a 4-camera system. When you add a camera, you press that button, and then you have to go press a button on the camera within a certain number of seconds, and then they will pair. I tested it out, it worked fine. It came with one camera, and I had a camera that could be used with this model, and it paired okay. It's the Byte Tango system, so the camera has to be compatible with the Byte Tango. Some of their older cameras won't work. And then in picture here, we have brightness, different levels of brightness, contrast, color, and then cam LED. There's a little blue LED you can turn on or off. And there's a go back down here. Mirror mode, this is for setting up if you want to use it as a rear view mirror, or you want to mount the camera in a certain way, or you have to adjust the orientation of the camera. Q mode, so all the different modes, if you're just going to have 2 cameras or 3 cameras or 4 cameras, all the different ways you can set up the screen. And down here we'll go setting. So we have camera trigger. That's if you're going to have some turn signal cameras, so that when you flick the turn signal, it'll show that camera while your signal light is going on. There's a little green wire on the camera for doing that. And then we got the different systems. USA and a lot of the rest of the world uses PAL. Auto dim. So that's at night. The display will dim. It seems to lose its times out pretty quick. And then screen off, I just leave it at 0 because I never want the screen to turn off, but you can have it time out. Scan, you can turn different scanning on for different cameras. So if we take camera 2, those cameras will scan in the scan mode. They'll stop each for about 5 seconds and keep going around. I use that on my boat when I'm using it for engine room monitoring. And we got park line, so you can adjust park line here if you want to use the park line feature. Not much, I don't really use that for the RV. And then in record here, we have recording on. You can format the card. Cover means it will overwrite after it gets to the end, and then you can set the time in there. And then we got play. You can play back videos on this that have been taken. So one tap brings up this menu. Two taps brings up this kind of shortcut menu, so you can get rid of the parking. You can mute the audio. You can quickly set different brightnesses. See, it can get really bright. Or it can go really dim, which is nice at night. The older models, I found them overly bright when I was trying to drive at night, to the point where I had to turn it off even. And then here is floodlight. See, when I turn it on, a little bulb up there goes fully yellow, and that turns on the backing up floodlight for you. Then you can turn record on and off there. And then you can put it in scan mode here. There's actually a little scan up there. And then it'll just flick between how many cameras you have set up for your scan. So I just have 2 here. So I have channel 1 and channel 2. And here it goes to channel 2. And then you can press Q mode here. And then you can see I've got it in quad and just have 2 channels right now. And then, of course, you can pick what you like. So, yeah, it works pretty good. Gets rid of the buttons and having to press the buttons. Click, 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 click. Everything is right on the screen there. Display looks pretty good. So we'll give her a try in real world scenario. And I'll do some recordings while I drive and give you some playback for this. So once you get the camera mounted and power to it, setup's just a snap. All I had to do was plug it in here. I just chose to plug it into my 12-volt power socket here and then turn it on there. I've just put the suction mount on the windshield there. That's where I'm going to use it for test. And it actually looks pretty good. Just zoom in here. It's actually brighter than what the camera was showing there, but if I zoom in, it should adjust to see how bright it actually is. And that's right now, that's the view out the back of my RV. So we got another few days here in this campground, and then we're gonna journey to our next boondocking spot, and I'll let it record as we go, and I'll come back and show you the footage. Stay tuned. you go. That's a look at the new Haloview BT7 Touch. So far I like it. It's got a nice bright screen. Lots of mounting options for people. I just tried it suction cupped onto the window there and then just left it on the dash kind of, because we go down a lot of bumpy roads, as you can see. And it worked pretty good. I think I might mirror mount it though. I'm going to plan on testing it a few more months for you as we complete our snowbird journey. And I'll come back maybe with an update, let you know if anything went wrong. Till next time, Ray from Haloview RV and Boat. Cheers, everyone.